But my name is DriveMan. I am shoutcasting for Mobicast.com, so if you have a chance, please check out our website and Facebook. It really will help us out because we are kicking off this new website to service basically the entire MOBA genre. We're also working out some deals with area games right now, but going to the game, we've got some quick bans here. Thunderbringer being banned first up by Lowrie's feed, then following up with Revenant from 2Gs, who are tagged up as HTL at the moment. I'm not sure. I did hear them talking about being ex-Dota. They said they hadn't been using the CyberGamer Ladder since their days in Dota, so this could be interesting to see how they perform. Apparently this is their first CG match in a very long time. But continuing on the bans, Lowrie is feed banned, Magnus as well. Now Magnus, hugely popular in the Oz scene. If you're watching the honorific tournament that we were streaming live for Honcast actually in Sydney Chatswood, you would have seen that actually every single game somebody was picking up Magnus. He's that popular to be used as a tri-lane support and a roaming kill ganking sort of hero. Very nasty, very useful. Zephyr also getting banned. Now Zephyr, I don't know, we don't see him banned all that much. I mean, the last time I saw Zephyr being run was with the Who's Bad versus One Day game, which I believe we have a VOD up on my channel, but that match, they one day decided to pick up Zephyr, and unfortunately Who's Bad picked up Predator, and Predator being sort of an anti-tank hero, basically if you try and tank up in any sort of fashion, Predator just laughs it up and then rips through your HP bullet. I think at one point Predator was hitting Zephyr for 900 damage on the initial swings, of course, because Carnivorous does scale based on the current life pool of a hero, so obviously the initial hits were doing way more, but it was a ridiculous amount of damage that he was doing just from the passive alone. But bans continuing on, Dr. Repulsor, a very solid ban. Then Warbeast getting banned. Now, you may have seen, if you're watching the Honorific tournament, sorry, I just whacked my headphones there. If you were watching the Honorific tournament, you would have seen that Frenetic Array, when they were playing against Zenith Gaming, they banned Warbeast every single time. Now, I thought this was a joke initially. However, Frenetic Array explained to me afterwards that they've been watching what Zenith Gaming had been doing in their replays and been watching what they've been doing in their scrims. They had been practicing Warbeast a lot, and apparently they've been using him as a very fast jungler and pushing hero, basically just farm up a puzzle box ASAP and then go crazy pushing. They decided they weren't sure how they would fare against it, and they just decided, well, we're just going to take it off the table, use one of our bans, and make sure we don't have to face it. So in fact, all three games Zenith and Frenetic Array played, Warbeast was banned by Frenetic Array every single time. But rounding out the bans, we do get Puppet Master banned by Lowrie's feet. Also another solid ban, very popular tri-lane melee, tri-lane ranged carry, and also Tundra being banned. If you've seen White use Tundra, Tundra is very effective if you give him that solo mid, get an early port key or an early puzzle box, can really unleash some nasty damage, especially with that 4-second stun, which goes through Magic Immunity. It's so useful for locking down heroes and getting ganks off. Incredibly powerful, as well as the Shiver. Shiver is the bird is one of Tundra's most powerful abilities. If you can know how to micro and how to scout with it, it gives so much vision and telegraphs so much information. It's very important to have that bird up and around scouting out. But first pick for Lowrie is feed Torturer. Now Torturer sort of gets a run in the Oz scene every now and then. We have actually seen him utilized in like several different ways. Initially we saw him in the Oz scene being used as a tri-lane support. I didn't like this at all, but lately we've been seeing him used as a sort of a semi-carry solo pusher in the mid lane, or sometimes occasionally in a solo versus solo in one of the side lanes. But I do like watching him go nuts with the pushing in the middle lane. I believe Zenith Gaming during the Honorific tournament ran a port key Torturer at one point. They were just having a lot of fun. But Myrmidon and Bubbles being picked up, so it seems we have a sea creature theme going on for 2Gs. But two very solid picks indeed. Bubbles, of course, being very powerful. If you get him up a bit of farm, just get him that little bit of farm, he can really tear a team apart. And then Myrmidon, of course, being a very solid tri-lane support. We see him quite frequently either picked or banned in the Oz scene, along with Magnus. But following over to Lowrie's feet, they have also picked up Andromeda and Wretched Hag. So it looks like Hag might be their might be their side lane solo if they're going to have Torturer as a solo mid, because it looks like they're looking at Glacius and Witchslayer as well. That's interesting. I'm thinking maybe someone's going to pick carry, maybe not. Maybe they're going for a very early Nuki push team, but that's a little dangerous, but we'll see how that turns out. Of course, Andromeda's solid pick, but following up on 2G side, Chipper, also another solid mid hero, can do a lot of damage. So we may actually see Bubbles get pushed into the side lane versus a tri-lane or against a solo, depending on how they decide to run it. Excuse me. But yeah, we could see Bubbles pushed into that silent because he can survive against a tri-lane. So if he comes up against something really hard like a tri-lane, he can survive against it just by using Shell Surf and Take Cover to keep himself out of trouble, in the same way that Hag can also survive against a tri-lane just by using Flash just to get around, and just her blink just to get around and make sure she stays out of trouble. Now there we go, that's what I thought was going to happen. We're going to see an actual carry for the tri-lane. And Witchslayer and Andromeda and Malikan, ooh, that's a pretty nasty tri-lane. They can definitely pump out a lot of damage and disable between them. Of course, Malikan can do a deceptive amount of damage if he can get in there early with a nice blue sword throw and then just whack away with a blue fire on his sword. Can really do a lot of damage, and if you follow it up with a couple of stuns, it is quite deadly. However, Behemoth. Oh, now if you watched Shinx playing Behemoth in the Honorific tournament, Behemoth is quite a powerful tri-lane support. And obviously, if you're going to have a melee support in your tri-lane, you do need to pick up a ranged carry. And in this case, they're picking up a Luna. She has been nerfed. I think it was attack point got slowed down just a little bit. However, she's still definitely a viable tri-lane carry, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, we did see Shinx do a lot of sniping and ganking with that Behemoth, very useful. Landed some very good fissures. Remember, fissures, you don't just want to stun a target, you really need to trap them off with that fissure as well. It needs to do more than just stun, because the stun duration itself isn't that long. It's not as powerful as, say, Hammerstorm's stun in that regard for duration. However, trapping someone is the real skill behind Behemoth's fissure. If you can get that off, it's really, really super effective. So let's look at these tri-lanes. Oh dear. Andromeda, Witchslayer, and Malikan up against. Just bring up that scoreboard there. Up against Behemoth, Aluna, and Myrmidon. Of course, Myrmidon and Behemoth get seen together quite a lot. Just make those flying V cross formations and just can really cause a lot of havoc, because if you can line up a nice stun with Behemoth, you can also immediately then line up a great weave field. Just line them up one after the bang bang. Causes so much trouble. It looks like 2Gs are going for a defensive tri-lane. They're just going to throw it down the bottom, just try and get Aluna as farmed up as possible. Pings everywhere, wonderful from both teams in fact. Just ping the crap out of the map. Chipper going to solo mid, no surprises there. And Bubbles going up top against, I think he's assuming he's going to be up against the enemy tri-lane. Now, Malikan and Aluna, who is going to be able to outcarry the other? It's definitely going to be interesting to see. Aluna, of course, has a massive stun on her, but Malikan can really hit critical mass quite early if you can just get a little bit of farm, because he can hit really hard thanks to his blue flame and his ult just splashing out all that damage, as well as Hellborn's deal just helping him ramp up that attack speed. Of course, he does have a pretty crap attack speed to start off with, but oh, hang on, have we got a dual lane? No, which side is going to go bottom? I thought, worried about having a dual lane for a second. I think Torture might have been, no, it wasn't palming off, was maybe just a bit of miscommunication there. But Wretched Hag mid, so looks like they've decided to put Hag mid. They've decided it's okay to put Torture at top because they want to go tri-lane versus tri-lane. So they've made this decision that they want to send their tri-lane bottom and go down against the enemy tri-lane. And by doing this, it really also does take off some pressure from their mid player, because if you have a tri-lane versus a solo hero, see, as we just zoom out, I was going to reset my my zoom key off my mouse key so I could just move around easily with the mouse, middle mouse wheel. However, I forgot to do that, so my apologies if we do zoom in and out just a little bit every now and then. They've been spotted up by that ward, though. Great ward from Behemoth there, and looks like they might be going for level 1 gank, although it will need a good snipe from Behemoth to cut off cut off Witchslayer or Andromeda. It looks like they might have seen something up. No, Witchslayer, I don't like that ward. He could have put it further back up behind those ruins, just up in the top left of the screen, and then used that to spot the ruin as well. Although this does allow him to see down this way as well, so I suppose he does need to worry about Behemoth snipes quite a lot if they want to push down against this. So yeah, maybe that is going to be necessary. However, I don't like the fact that there is no rune vision at the moment for the mid player. If they're going to do that, really, I do think they need to buy another ward to at least spot up the rune, or block the pull, because they're going to have some issues in a minute. Because look here, Behemoth stacking already. He's going to pull this wave that's coming out now, and then they're going to have experience sapped off them left, right, and center. They're going to have to go over there, pull themselves out of position while Luna just farms underneath the tower in complete safety. And that's not what they want, because they're going up against this tri-lane. When you send tri-lane versus tri-lane, the idea is you want to shut down the enemy tri-lane, because you're worried about their carry farming harder than yours and reaching the late game, and then, you know, being much more powerful. Myrmidon just starting things up with a Magikarp. That is a bit of an interesting choice. Don't usually see this Magikarp burst. Normally, most people would build a weed field first, just especially when you've got Behemoth, just because you can follow up stun after stun. Just throwing out that Magic Up, like getting Magic Up first is really a little bit weird. There we go, there's the blocking. Well, they needed to put that down earlier, so they wouldn't have lost. If they'd done that earlier, they would not have lost that wave of experience. Plus, no, fortunately one of their creep has blocked it off. But, bottom lane alone for the minute. It looks like Hag is losing out to Chipper in mid, taking a fair bit of damage. Chipper just auto-attacking Hag. Oh, very nice. Oh, so close. Nicely timed rockets, using the mini stuns to stop Hag from blinking away there. Very nice. But Chipper is 10 for 5, while Wretched Hag is 1 for 2. So Wretched Hag getting absolutely smacked around in this bottom lane. Looks like Chipper will be farming up his bottom much earlier than Hag. Might as well just take a look at the top lane as well. Bubbles versus Torture. Now, Torture, what build is he going for? Torture, pretty flexible. Looks like he's going for Agonizing Bonds and Chain Reaction. So the stun and his nuke, not the damage over time impalement. Which is, we do see this sometimes. If you're not planning to push, you just want to control your lane, because between those, the stun and the nuke, you do so much damage once you hit level 3, 4, and 5. It's really quite problematic, especially when you're up against something like Bubbles, who doesn't have much health to start with, and then he's trying to buy a Blood Chalice early, which then saps his experience, saps his health even more. Andromeda, though, getting a Comet stun on a Luna, then Witch Slayer following up with, oh no, Witch Slayer caught out there. Nice stun from Behemoth, following up on Magikarp from Myrmidon there. But excellent vision. So that's exactly what we're talking about. You don't just need to stun someone, you have to cut them off as well. In that case, it wouldn't have mattered. But had Luna not had the power throw up, they would have killed Witch Slayer quite easily, just because of the way how he was trapped off there, and he would have had to go the long way around trying to get out. But see, this is what we're talking about with that nuking power from Torturer. Bubbles being forced to pop that health pot already. He was down very low, and Torturer still has mana up for a whole nother combo. So Bubbles wants to keep using his spells. He's going to run into a problem where, you know, he's going to be losing health, a lot of health. And here we go. He's going to be trading hits there. Torturer just trading auto attacks at the moment, not deciding to use his nukes yet. I think he's waiting for another level. He wants that 5th level just to power up one of his nukes, and probably, I think he'll probably go for Chain Reaction just to extend the stun time just a bit more. Just waiting for... There we go. I think we'll see something. Oh, Bubbles just using his Shell Surf to CS there. He is feeling the pressure here. He's having a lot of trouble trying to farm there. If you see Bubbles being forced to pull back like that and use Shell Surf to farm, or like any hero up there being forced to push back and like use only their nuke to farm, it is a sure sign that losing lane. But bottom lane, there is action here. Behemoth getting a fissure off. Witch Slayer in a bit of trouble. Wheatfield catching out Andromeda. Witch Slayer sort of out of position and getting the stun off, while Myrmidon taking some damage from Wretched Hag. However, Witch Slayer getting taken out by Luna. Now the sword throw coming from Malkin. Luna out of position, getting it smashed by Hag and Malkin. Malkin now having a Magic Up chasing him, not going to do a whole lot. Behemoth doesn't have enough up. It does have enough up for a fissure, but Andromeda is still here. Lowrie is still here, but I think he's being spotted up by that counter ward. There we go. He's just going to do a bit of counter warding himself. Lowrie could get caught out here if he's not too careful. I think he can possibly see Behemoth then. No, just backing up. That Behemoth's ward's still out there though. Mid lane, Chipper got it all to himself, just laughing it up, pushing this lane for as fast as possible. Now, this is one thing you will see some people do. When their opponent in mid leaves, they will start nuking the creep and hammering and auto-attacking the creep, but be warned, they will still try to last hit every single creep, but they will start pressuring the lane a lot, and it's down the bottom lane. Those stuns catching out Malkin, who's on low health. Unfortunately, just got smashed. Behemoth came back along with the Luna. It's chain stun out, lights out. But back to the point we were making in mid, you will see like Chipper just firing rockets in the creep. He is trying to push the lane, because if you can push your creep up quick... Oh, Hag making a mistake, hanging around Chipper, just getting hit by his ult and then hit by rockets. Ouch, 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 ouch. Nice play from Chipper, capitalising on a mistake from Hag there. And up in the top lane, Bubbles and Torturer going down. I'm guessing Bubbles got the jump on Torturer there, however, Impalement... Was it Impalement? Torturer has got... No, it wasn't. Must have just been a delayed nuke or something. But Bubbles was the first to get the kill, so Bubbles did come out on top slightly there, just hitting 6 and then managing to get the experience. But going back to why, when the enemy mid player leaves the lane, why you push it up hard and fast as possible, is because basically you try and shove it up under the tower. Not only do you damage the tower, but you get your creep wave killed quite quickly by their tower, and if he comes back, he will have mixed out on an entire wave of experience. And you'll see Hag is now quite under level compared to Chipper. She's only level 4, she's only just got that level 4 because she had to leave to roam and gank bottom. She got a kill, however, then immediately came back and got smashed by Chipper. So definitely pushing up has its merits when your opponent has left the lane. And now which side roaming bottom? I think they've seen Andromeda though. Yeah, they know she's there. Just pinging her. And the support coming bottom. Who is it? It is Blue. Chipper is coming bottom right now. There is going to be some damage caused. I think Behemoth getting a stun off. Oh, nice stun. Very nice stun. Setting up those rockets for Chipper, and the wheat field wasn't even needed. Very nice indeed. Up in the top lane, while we're talking about that, Bubbles getting his revenge on Torturer. Again, looks like Torturer having trouble coping with Bubbles' nuke power. Of course, Bubbles a little bit more survivable. The fact that he can initiate on Torturer is quite helpful, and then dodge spells with take cover, very helpful. But he has also opted for a bottle in the side lane. Interesting decision. Down the bottom lane, we're seeing Andromeda getting taken out. No, backing up just in time. Behemoth not quite positioned to get a good fissure off. Of course, if you're not in position for a good fissure and your teammates don't desperately need it, don't use it because you are low mana. A very low mana hero, so just try and save it for an opportune moment. No point spraying and praying when you can use one shot, one kill tactics and take them out quite swiftly. Now they know Hag's gone up here because they've got the ward up. 2Gs know that this Hag is up here. She's going to camp that room though. She gets it, just denying it from Chipper. At the same time, she's wasting so much time. Losing out so much experience. Bubbles should know that she's coming, because Chipper would have warned her. And down the bottom lane, which they're getting caught out again. Getting trapped on the wrong side of that fissure. Here we go. Bubbles, possibly in a bit of trouble. Oh no, Torturer taking a lot of damage. Also tanking damage from the creep. Hag needs to get in there. She gets the Sonar Scream off and takes him down. Torturer almost going down to creep there. Possibly a little bit too late. I think what they were possibly trying to do was Torturer moves in, forces the Shell Surf from Bubbles, and then baits him, basically pushes him into Hag. That's why Hag was so far back. However, Bubbles decided to man up and go down on Torturer because, you know, he can manage it. He's already killed Torturer once. He knows he can do it. There's a stun come. Oh, very nice. The chain stuns. These disables are just way too much for Malikan and the bottom trial in general to handle. Just Behemoth along with the Luna stun, and then chipper rockets everywhere. Nothing you can do about it. Although they probably should have known that was coming. They do have a ward offside up there, you know. If you can see trouble coming, don't hang around. But Hag still very underleveled compared to the enemy side. In fact, she's being out-leveled by a Luna, the enemy Tron. That is not a good sign for Lowrie's speed. Along with the fact that their carry is really just getting dumped on at the moment. In fact, he is on 142 gold per minute, whereas a Luna 310.98. A lot of, basically double, more than double in fact. This is not a good position to be in, especially when you're playing Malik and you really want to be able to snowball quickly. I'm sorry, just scrolling in and out again accidentally. Luna looks like she's got the ring tissue. She's also picked up steam boots. She has an apprentice robe now. If I had to guess, she is going for an early Hellflower. I think she's decided she doesn't need to tank up. A nice counter ward there from Thierry. This is going to be even more problematic for Lowrie's speed. Now that they've lost that side there, and they still, Behemoth still has, this is what makes it so great, that ward there. But another stun coming from Behemoth, and oh, nothing he can do. There's 4 people there. There's absolutely nothing he can do about that. That is unfortunate. It's going all sorts of downhill, and really, they need to like either rotate Malik into another lane, because that is not working out. They need to get him some farm. He really desperately needs some farm, so he needs to rotate to another lane. But look up here for Torturer in a bit of trouble. Shell Surf, Kelfield, and Song of the Sea. Nothing can do. Auto attack down by a couple of illusions. Absolutely nothing he can do. And uh-oh, Andromeda in a bit of trouble. Cut off by a Fisher, hit by a Wheatfield. See, this is what you can do with Behemoth and Myrmidon. Just set up these stun after stun, and we're going to see in range. No comet stun. It's not going to matter though, because Luna is there to clean up. Even the Graveyard stun is not enough to save Andromeda. But they really, really do need to rotate Malik and somewhere, and even get him some more ward sight or something. They really need to get him the hell out of there, and he's decided to farm mid for now. And I can foresee this going all sorts of pear-shaped as well, because he's going to be sitting down there in that ditch. Uh-oh, the Chipper coming. Chipper's got no mana anyway. He's got enough for 1 rocket, and that's it. His bottle's empty as well. He's gone for early Striders. But see, when he's down in this ditch, especially now since it's night time, he hasn't got any sight at all. He can't see what's sitting up on the hill ready to kill it. And when you've got Behemoth, you know, you can really set up some early stuns along with the Luna and Myrmidon. Just set up stun after stun after stun. It'll just generally be the same crap that he's been getting in the bottom lane. I really think he needs to be rotated up to the top lane. You know, give him some ward cover so he can see people coming to kill him, and then give him some support. You know, get Torturer, get Hag down there, get get them basically to get the 2Gs guys off his nuts, because otherwise he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to be relatively underfarmed. And look, here we go. Hag going to try and kill. Wow. Torture just getting man up. Hag nowhere to be seen. Bubbles just blinking all around him, just using that power. And now, Torture getting cleaned up by Murmur. Hag also getting smashed by reinforcements coming to the top lane. Nothing they can do there. This may be a very early concede. Also, Luna took a crack at them. I think possibly a bit of miscommunication there. Torture decided he wanted to fight. Hag decided she didn't want to fight. So he saw Hag just sort of walking away behind the tower, and Torture busy going Amano. But in the end, Bubbles came out on top there. Hag not even managing to take out Bubbles, I think. No, he didn't. Looks like he got away. Torture now just respawning. Oh dear, this is a problem. Does Chipper have his ult? No, he doesn't have his ult. So I think Malikan could get away here. Although, then again, Chipper does have to... Oh, see, this is what we're talking about. You do need to get those fishes off right. Unfortunately, Behemoth has been doing quite well, just making his first mistake happen, so we'll forgive him. Because he has been landing some very nice fishes, setting up these kills, just chain stun after chain stun. Looks like Luna is going to push down this bottom tower fairly soon, which is going to open up all sorts of a world of hurt for Chipper to come down behind this bottom lane and gank if they push down it at all, because Chipper can just, you know, go down there with Myrmidon or Behemoth and just cause all sorts of havoc. Torture is still farming. Now, Torture has gone for early Ghost Marches. Now, when you're already getting... I think this is a bit of a mistake from when you're already getting smashed and nuked down by this Bubbles. You don't want to, you know, be even glassier, basically be even easier and more fragile to kill. I think he should have put that, well, basically 1,000 gold into an early Helm of the Black Legion or something. Just some cheap health, defense, anything that is going to help him tank that damage that he's going to be receiving. See, Bubbles now hitting level 11. He's got his level 2 ult. This is all sorts of hell for Torture. The Andromeda going to try and set up killing him. Out come the agonizing balls. Comet stun. Chain reaction stun. Isn't going to be enough to kill Bubbles. Oh! Makes a mistake there, unfortunately. Spamming. Thought he was in trouble. Spammed the crap out of his shell serve. And blinked a very short distance. Unfortunately, Luna now just stunning Hag. Hag also getting cleaned up by Fisher. Oh, Weed Bill catching Hag as well. Is it going to be enough to finish her off? Not quite, but they do take out that tower. As Johnson John rather loud. I might have to turn him down a little bit later. But Andromeda, no boots still. Wow, she has been having a rough game. Indeed, when your tri-lane goes south, goes all sorts of pear-shaped, it is very difficult for supports to recover in any sort of fashion. Whereas when tri-lane goes well, you look like these guys. Myrmidon already on Striders. He's also been doing the warding as well. He's got his Blood Chalice. Behemoth also working on a Blood Chalice. Has a power supply. So they're probably feeling pretty happy about things right now. But Bubbles has been having a hell of a game. You know, he was being harassed quite heavily by Torture, but he's had his revenge now, stacking on those nukes and disables just to blow through Torture's health. Of course, Torture, made of glass, really needs to look into that. In fact, he's still only got 777 health. That's done. I really disagree with that idea to pick up the early Ghost Marches. Sure, it will help you run around and chase people down with empowerment and be annoying, but I mean, you haven't really even been leveling empowerment. He's gone for an agonizing bonds and chain reaction level build. I really would have liked to see an early Helm of the Black Legion or something on him. Something defensive at the very least. However, Malikan now, what's he got? Not a whole lot. He's got 10 bits. Chipper now getting hungry for a kill by the looks of it. Now, Chipper might be able to get sneaky, although they don't have a ward-up spotting. If they had a ward-up spotting, Chipper could throw down his swords, catch someone, and cut down the trees in front of him at the same time. But Port's coming in. I think they know somebody's there. Port's coming in 4 mid for the Hellborn, 4 mid for the Legion. In fact, only Aluna is busy farming in the jungle. There we go. Andromeda just using Aurora to scout out, although Tiri throwing down a nice ward there, watching the Obelisk run. And they are just going to push this mid lane. Though Torture getting caught out and smashed. This is the power of wards, definitely by wards, by counter wards, by also thing. And now Bubbles manning up. This is a little bit one for Andromeda swapping away. And I think she just managed to stun Malikan accidentally. And now Weedbit on Andromeda. And bam. I think this is just a case of 2Gs just so much more coordinated. They did mention they had Dota experience. I don't know how well they did on the CyberGamer Dota ladder, but looks like they have some sort of experience together because they are playing in a fairly coordinated manner. And they're also, you know, manning up, you know,
the Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
And they push down this mid tower. Bubbles, how much money is he camping on? 2,600, so could be getting a port key, could be getting that nullstone. Not sure what he's going to go for. Like I said, haven't seen these guys in action. Chipper now going for early spell shards by the looks of it. Personally, I prefer to get early Staff of the Master on Chipper. It is so crazy. You get this massive, huge slow on your ultimate, which goes through Magic Immunity. It's so crippling. As well as just providing some nice stats, making it a lot less squishy. However, Spell Shards, of course, also does amplify that damage a lot, but I do prefer to go Staff of the Master then Spell Shards, just personally, when I'm playing the Chipper. But now, Torturer trying to run down Chipper. Chipper has all these spells up though, so could have been a bit of a mistake there. Gets hit by the initial damage from Sword Blades, but he's going to be cut off by Behemoth. No Fissure. Behemoth could have set that up very nice. Oh, there we go. It gets, no, doesn't quite trap. An earlier trap just going through there, cutting off both Andromeda. And Torturer would have been very, very powerful and very nasty for Torturer, because it would have lined him up for Chipper's rockets, and that would have been all she wrote for him, because he still only has 777 health. And in the bottom lane, Malakin, I think. No, Witchslayer getting destroyed. Aluna has, wow. She has Steam Boots and a Hellflower before 18 minutes. That is really quite massive. In fact, she's sitting on 411 GPM at 17, nearly 18 minutes in now. That is quite massive. Very hard to match for Lowrie's speed. In fact, what are their Torturer, their sort of semi-carry is sitting on not much. 117 gold per minute. Hag is on 158 and Malakin 127. So yeah, that is huge trouble. In fact, it is 18 minutes in and they are 16,500 gold behind. So very, very painful. Andromeda picking up boots finally. You're going to see any action from Bubbles. Bubbles has opted to go for an early portkey. Very common on Bubbles players. Getting smacked by that Aurora, but not really going to bother him at all. Rockets, nope, not landing. Nice try though. One up top, just Torturer going to do a bit of farming. Still, Glassy is all hell, very fragile. I don't like that. Not at 18 minutes in, not when you're up against Bubbles, not when you're up against Chipper. I think that's way too dangerous. But on Behemoth, you know, you walk into an ult from Behemoth, you just get obliterated. Definitely you need Mystic Vestments and a Helm of the Black Legion ASAP, in my opinion. There we go, Rockets, and look at that! Down at 33% HP just from the Rocket Barrage alone, getting hit by that.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Really do need to get some sort of defense when you're up against a new team like this. It's just ridiculous amount of damage they will do if you don't tank up. And when you're already made of glass like Torturer, it's just asking for trouble. You know, they're capitalizing on it and just tearing Torturer apart left, right, and center. Malakin has got a Hungry Spirit. I think it's called that. Yes, it's Hungry Spirit. I forget the exact names for them sometimes. Hungry Spirit looks like he will be trying to build a Whispering Helm relatively shortly once he gets a Helm of the Victim. To follow up, he is sitting on 377 gold, so got a fair way to go. Well, Myrmidon just taking control of their jungle, the Hellborn jungle, by setting up some wards and counter-warding the enemy wards so they can't see what the hell's going on in there. Malakin backing up, not sure if he wants to go in. Rockets, are they going to hit anybody? No. Dodging in time. Andromeda now moving in. Torturer also moving, still made of glass. I don't like this. Torturer may be about to get aced once again. They know that he's coming around. Behemoth getting the start off. Chipper going into this Torturer. Going to spray him? No, just ignoring him. He can destroy. There we go. Just turn around. That's all you have to do. You can't play Torturer like he's made of glass. Comet start on Bubbles. Bubbles maybe a little trouble. No. Rockets again and a weed for cleaning up Witchslayer.
Have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
A little bit of trouble. Surf from Myrmidon. Finishes stun. Bubbles getting there with a port key and his Kelp build. And now the Hag ulting. This might actually do damage. Behemoth ulting in return. And Hag and Andromeda getting wiped out. Looks like Bubbles might get killed. No, I don't think so. It is only a level 1 haunt. I think he should be okay. Because it's only doing 8 damage a tick. Let's see. Look, Torturer is a hero that wants to, you know, sort of, he does these, you know, if you're building an empowerment build, he wants to get up close and personal with his ults as well. He does so much ridiculous amount of damage. You know, he can even go toe-to-toe with some late game carries if he gets farmed enough just with his, you know, empowerment and ult alone. But when you're made of glass, you know, the point is, like, it's close in-your-face damage. If you're made of glass, you will not survive getting up close to the enemy. So, you know, you can't just pop empowerment and then charge headfirst into Chipper. Because, you know, Chipper's going to realise at some point, oh, wait, I can kill you. Turn around, drop his ult, and spray you with rockets, and then it's lights out. He doesn't even need a Staff of the Master to finish you off. Doesn't even need to use Tartos. In fact, I don't think I've seen Chipper use Tartos once this game. No, he's been leveling it up. He's gone for a Tartos build, not focus buffer, so he has been leveling it, but I haven't seen it in action, although possibly haven't been paying attention. But Aluna has now a Blessed Orb as well. Oh my god, she is going to be ridiculously fun. Just now a 24,000 gold deficit at 21.5 minutes in. Not looking good. Behemoth now trying to get off a stun here. Gets off that fissure. I heard the blink. Behemoth. Oh, Behemoth, does he have his port key? He does have his port key. Bubbles now blinking and getting Song and Seek. Health field out as well. Health Lab being used on Torture, getting taken out. Bubbles trying to shell surfing, gonna clean up Hag, not quite, getting stunned by Witchlay. Witchlay gonna go down though. Tries to get off a silver bullet, not quite. Oh, Hag getting cleaned up by a red Alcro from Aluna. Very nice. Aluna picking up a hat trick there, I think. It was indeed Aluna scoring that hat trick. Now Bubbles possibly overextending just a little, although he does have his port key up, so he will be able to get out of there if he feels he is in danger. Also, Shell Surf is up.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Also getting taken out in the meantime. In fact, Chipper was there. Or was he not? Maybe he was just pushing top that whole time. Wasn't even paying attention. Such a good caster, I am. However, Bubbles now going to push mid along with Myrmidon. Myrmidon has, at this point, Helmet. See, this is what you need. Helmet of Black Legion, you want to tank up just a bit. Although Hellflower being used on Witchlay to stop from stunning Witchlay. Oh, very close. Almost taking out Andromeda. Now, Myrmidon has opted for Striders. Now, this isn't a horrible idea, but we often see support Myrmidons just go for Steam Boots instead, in actual fact, just because Myrmidon has the ability to reposition himself in a fight already with Waveform, which is already quite useful, and the fact that he does well with a bit of attack speed. You know, his ult just does do a bit more damage with a bit of attack speed, plus if he tanks up just a little bit, it's not that ineffective, and that is a really weird ward from Jimjag. I don't know why he put it down there. I mean, you can practically get line of sight to there already just by standing by your tower. Maybe a misclick. Insane, just putting up that see, this is a nasty ward. He's just going to wait for someone to move down, just skulk around in front of their tower, and then as soon as they come down and even just edge out of their ramp, they will get smashed by Chipper, throwing out a barrage of rockets and his level 2 Sawblade Showdown. Oh my god, so close. I'm going to say again, you cannot afford to be made of glass like that. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He needs to tank up. How much money has he got now? Only probably nothing. Yeah, 250 gold, nothing at all. He's got no opportunity to farm either. Not with the way the Legion have taken control of their jungle, control of the Legion. See how far they've got all of this map vision.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
So they can't even push out without being seen, and then, you know, the Legion just come down and clamp down on them and force them to stay inside their base. They can't level, they can't get farm. It is just a great way to dominate an enemy team if you can do this to them. Just keep them bottled up and contained within their base. But now, what's going on here? Malikan's still with that hungry spirit. Just waiting for these guys to make their push, because they really could just take him out pretty soon. Bubbles looks like he might be saving up for a Nullstone. He does have that Sustainer, has 2,600 gold in the bank. So they're going to try and get a kill off on Bubbles. Not going to happen though, really doubt it. Bubbles instead manning up, blinking into them, getting off the Song of the Sea and the Kill Belt. Nothing they can do. Hag ulting, but really Chipper just cleaning up along with Behemoth. Absolutely nothing they can do. Malikan just sword throwing back up onto the ramp there. And look, even got sight inside their base now.
Game over.
And honestly,
Legion
not a huge
wins.
surprise. Really, at this stage in the game, Lowrie is just being completely outplayed and out-coordinated by 2Gs. They did say they had some Dota experience, so it looks like they were showing it off just a bit. Taking control of that match. Anyway, my name is Trifman. I've been casting for Overcast.com. Please check us out. We are kicking off this very brand new site and casting group. Just trying to provide a casting service for all games in the MOBA genre. But anyway, we will catch you possibly, I think, tomorrow with another CyberGamer Open Ladder match. Anyway, Triumph signing out.